Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The sound that shattered me was so small that at first I thought I imagined it. A breathy whisper. A soft moan. A voice I knew far too well. I froze halfway up the staircase, my hand gripping the wooden banister so tightly my fingers tingled. For a moment my mind refused to understand, as if shielding me from a truth too cruel to comprehend. But then I heard it again. My name, spoken in a way that did not belong in anyone else's mouth, followed by a low laugh that made my stomach twist into knots. I knew that laugh. It belonged to my father's brother. I stood there trembling, my pulse thudding sickly in my ears. The air felt too thick to breathe, the faint scent of her perfume drifting down the hallway like a mocking reminder. Confusion struck me first, a dizzying disbelief that made everything blur. Then anger, a hot and shaking fury that flickered through my chest like lightning. But beneath it all was heartbreak, a quiet, pulsing ache that nearly buckled my knees. I forced myself to move. One slow step, then another. Each creak of the wooden floor felt like a betrayal in itself. I kept hoping I was wrong, that I would open the door and find something ordinary, something harmless, something forgivable. Instead, I opened the door to the sound of them gasping in shock. They scrambled apart, their eyes wide and their faces drained of color. My wife clutched the sheets to her chest, her hair messy, her lips swollen. My father's brother looked like he wished he could melt into the floor. The room smelled like sweat and guilt, and the sight of them together carved something sharp and jagged inside me. My voice came out cracked and shaking. How long? My wife swallowed hard, tears filling her eyes. It was a mistake. Please, listen. Just listen. My father's brother said nothing. He stared at the wall as if unable to face the damage he caused. I felt anger crash through me again, raw and blinding, yet underneath that was denial. A desperate urge to pretend this was not happening, that the two people I trusted most had not done this to me. I stepped back from the doorway, needing air, needing space, needing anything except the suffocating weight of their betrayal. I walked outside into the cold daylight, feeling numb and hollow. Confused voices followed me, but I ignored them, barely aware of the world around me. My mind spun with fragments of memories and questions that had no answer. Later that night, guilt crept in. Not guilt for them, guilt for myself, for not seeing it sooner, for every moment I had trusted too much, for every sign I dismissed. Nights she came home late. Family gatherings where my father's brother became suddenly attentive to me only to avoid suspicion. Strange pauses in conversation, quick glances, unsettling instincts I smothered because love made me blind. I replayed every moment until my head ached. The next morning my wife tried again. She stood in the kitchen looking fragile and desperate. It was not about you. I swear. It was loneliness. Confusion. He listened when you were busy. I made a terrible mistake and I hate myself for it. Her voice trembled. She reached for my hand but I stepped back, feeling my heart splinter again. I loved her. That was the most painful part. Love made everything hurt more deeply. But trust was shattered, and without trust love was only a memory. My father's brother came later. He avoided my eyes, shame written across his face. I am sorry, he said quietly. I never meant for this to happen. I stared at him, searching for any trace of the man I once admired. All I saw was someone who chose selfishness over blood. Someone who could smile at me during holidays while hiding this secret. Someone who never once hesitated before taking something precious from me. Anger settled in my bones like ice. I knew then that I would not let this destroy me. But I also knew that forgiveness was impossible. Some betrayals cut too deeply to ever heal cleanly. So I chose something else. I took everything I had learned about myself, about them, about the ways people reveal their true character when they think no one is watching, and I made a decision. I cut both of them out of my life. But I did not stop there. My wife had planned to open a boutique with money I had invested for her. I withdrew every cent. My father's brother relied on me to manage a property that brought him a steady income. I transferred ownership to myself legally and cleanly, leaving him with nothing he could contest. I took back every piece of myself I had ever given them. They lost my trust. But they also lost the benefits of being part of my life. Months passed. The pain softened, no longer a sharp blade but a faded scar. I began to feel like myself again. I learned to breathe without feeling broken. I learned that survival was not just possible, it was inevitable. The twist came unexpectedly. My father's brother confessed the truth to my father, hoping for forgiveness. Instead, my father severed ties with him entirely. My wife moved away, unable to face the consequences of her actions. Both of them had underestimated the ripple effect of betrayal. They did not just lose me. They lost everything that came with me. And for the first time since that terrible day, I felt peace.